Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the focus group discussion as a method of data collection in qualitative research design. Focus group discussions, popularly known as FGDs, are used quite frequently to gain an in-depth understanding of the constructs or variables in the social science domain. This method aims to collect data from a group of 8 to 10 participants selected purposefully rather than a larger representative sample of the population. In FGDs, participants discuss freely with fellow group members, and this discussion is led by a moderator. Focus group discussion emerged as a cost-effective method of data collection to gain access to the worldview of people. Many times, focus group discussion is considered as an alternative to semi-structured interviews, but unlike it, FGD provides an opportunity to bring participants from varied backgrounds together on one table to discuss the topic of interest rather than one-on-one interviewing between the participant and the researcher. While conducting FGDs, few points need careful consideration. Number one, the group composition should be well planned. Not anybody and everybody should be called to participate in it. Second, the strength of FGD lies in allowing the participants to agree or disagree or agree to disagree with each other. Therefore, care must be taken that each participant is getting that space to voice their opinions and ideas. Third, the moderator has to ensure that the environment is non-intimidating to the participants. Fourth, the participants must be encouraged to talk openly and freely. This freedom can only be experienced when the participants share a good rapport and are confident that the discussion would happen following all the ethical protocols. This includes taking informed consent from the participants for being a part of the FGD, ensuring and maintaining confidentiality of the data. The study's objectives are clearly mentioned. Details about the sponsoring organization of the study, if any, is shared, and how the data will be stored and used, etc. Fifth, the FGDs are not an appropriate method for data collection for highly personal or socially contentious issues. There are multiple steps which are involved in conducting successful focus group discussions. The first step involves identification of the topic to be explored through FGD. The topics may range from discussions about social welfare schemes to marketing strategies. The underlying feature is that the topic should generate real-time, unfiltered responses to uncover feelings and perceptions people have towards the construct or variables of interest. Step 2 involves defining the research scope, and this could be achieved through an in-depth review of existing literature. This step is of prime importance as it helps in determining the research questions, identification and recruitment of study participants, etc. Finalizing the focus group questions is a part of step 3. The focus group questions should be formulated with utmost rigor. The researcher must keep in mind that the questions are open-ended, unambiguous, unbiased, neutral in wording. Care must be taken that the questions are framed in a manner that makes the participants ponder and answer in detail. Yes or no questions or leading questions must be strictly avoided. Questions should not have any kind of bias, especially social desirability bias that may restrict or mask the participants' genuine responses and beliefs. This may also enhance the demand characteristics and lead to biased analysis and interpretation of data. Step 4 involves identification of the moderator or a co-moderator in case if you decide to moderate the session yourselves. Ideally, one co-moderator must be there to assist in the entire process. The role of co-moderator may involve coordinating the technology, taking notes, establishing the ground rules of the session, observing the participants' behavior. The role of moderator is important in an FGD. The moderator must ensure that the participants are being provided with an environment where they feel free to discuss and voice their beliefs, opinions and perspectives without being judged for the same. The moderator has to be patient and must have a welcoming demeanor. The moderator has to ensure that all the members are getting equal opportunities to discuss and are respectful towards each other. Participant selection and recruitment is the fifth step. Using any appropriate sampling technique, contributors must be selected for FGD. Usually, in a research, more than one focus group must meet and discuss. This helps in generating more ideas, as one group might not be sufficient to answer the research question. A good rule of thumb is to stop when the saturation point is reached. Most FGDs have 6 to 10 members, but it is good to have few more recruits just in case few participants get caught up at the last minute. Having more than 12 members is not advisable for a single focus group. Care must be taken that participants do not know each other or the researcher, as it may lead to biases and subjectivity which would hamper the credibility of the study. Step 6 involves the setting up of the FGD. Therefore, confirming the date, time and venue is a prerequisite for a successful FGD. Generally, the time required for an FGD ranges from 45 to 90 minutes in a noise-free environment with minimal distractions and interruptions. The researcher must ensure that the audio-visual recording of the session is done only after taking the consent, and that too a written consent from all the stakeholders. While well-conducted focus groups have a welcoming and relaxed environment, yet it is backed up by robust and rigorous scientific protocols. Seventh step is the conduction of the focus group discussion. This should start with a welcome note and careful reiteration of the objectives of the research. The moderator must ensure that there is proper rapport among all the participants, and this is only possible if the ice-breaking activity is effective. The moderator should lead the discussion in such a manner that initial questions are broad and generic, followed by more specific questions. All the participants must be encouraged to talk while the moderator takes a neutral stance. After the completion of FGD, the moderator must debrief, share the initial impressions of the discussion, as well as any highlights, issues or concerns. This brings us to the last step that encompasses data transcription, data cleaning and analysis. Depending on the research objective, identify the most suitable method of data analysis, which can be thematic or qualitative content analysis. FGDs elicit a wide range of perspectives from several participants in a short time frame, while allowing the participants to form new perspectives or insights from the interaction with other group members. Focus group discussions provide a fairly good advantage in being cost-effective, time-efficient way of data collection. With this, I would like to end today's session. See you all in the next video with another interesting topic.